Hello, this is not just another beige box, but an XT clone with a rather fast CPU and some extras inside that makes it a little bit special. The system board is an Excel Turbo 3. It's rather compact and based on the highly integrated Acer M1101 chipset. It features a total of 640 kilobytes of RAM. These are in 41256 ICs and 453C464s. These are all rated at 80 nanoseconds. The CPU or central processing unit was originally a Siemens branded 10 MHz 8088. I ended up replacing it with a Sony branded 10 MHz V20. I also replaced the onboard oscillator, the 36 MHz part, resulting in a 12 MHz CPU clock. For storage, we have a Seagate SE251, a 42 MB MFM hard drive. Note the warranty label, 22nd of the 7th, 1988. I just have to bend this back and secure it better. And ensure that the resistor pack terminator and drive select jumper are configured correctly prior to installation. Once installed, these can be very difficult to get to. The MFM controller is a Longshine LCS6210D. Not my best option, but it works with the SE251 hard drive. As with most of these controllers, the drive type is configured with jumper settings. In this case, 1 to 4 are closed and configured for a 14 MB drive with 6 heads, 820 cylinders and 17 sectors per track. For a floppy and I/O, we can use any general 16-bit ISA IDE and combo card, minus the use of IDE of course, which will be inactive due to the card being installed in an 8-bit ISA slot. This is a WinBond based controller with serial, parallel, a game port and so on. This may not be an issue, but it is advisable to disable the IDE controller via the jumper settings on the card. The video option for this build is a Trident TVJ 9000C series card set for 8-bit operation and with a slight modification to allow it to be detected by the system board. In order to do so, ALE or address latch enabled is pulled high by supplying 5V directly. I've tried several resistors with different values prior, but found that a simple jumper worked. This modification is completely reversible and the card will function in an AT system as well. All you have to do is remove the jumper you installed. For FM and digital sound, we have a Yamaha YMF718S. It's an OPL3 ISA card manufactured by Expert Color and one of the few that can function in an 8-bit ISA slot as well. It's also one of the many ISA sound cards supported by the Universal ISA plug-and-play sound driver. For basic MS-DOS network connectivity, we have a Gateway Communications G-Ether Twist PC card. Should be Novell NE1000 compatible. If not, I do have other ISA cards that should function well in an 8-bit ISA slot. And here it is, a Turbo XT in an AT desktop case that was originally destined for the scrapper. It'll paint damage and rust here and there, but I think it adds character. Now to flip the switch and power it up. .640 of RAM and detects dry pretty quickly. We have DOS 6.22 installed. Before we run anything else, let's run some benchmarks. First up is Landmark 6. I had to switch to an LCD screen due to issues with my video camera being able to deal with static content on CRTs. Not an issue when there is motion though. Quite impressive for a V20 clocked at 12 MHz. FastV20.com does make a slight difference by changing DRAM timings, but not by much. Next is PC Bench, not too bad with a score of 14. This is still an XT class machine with a V20 upgrade. Even if the CPU boasts more than double the transistors and an instruction set similar to that of the Intel 80188, it's still quite a bit slower than any 286 at the same clock frequency. Besides, the 286 has double the number of transistors, so that's pretty much self-explanatory. In Checker 2 we score a total of 1054 dry stones, 2300 characters and 19.9k wet stones. In comparison, the original Siemens 8088 only managed about 717 dry stones. Quite a speed jump. Pretty much the same scenario in Checker 3 with a rating of over 3 times that of the original IBM PC XT. Next up, a handful of games just to showcase what you can do with a fast 12 MHz V20. Well, does a Turbo XT compete with an AT286? No, not exactly. Even with an 8-bit bus, a 286 will significantly outperform a V20. Well, this is still an extremely interesting build and pretty fun to see what it's capable of running. I think the main reason why XT clones existed for so long in the late 80s is mainly because of lower purchase costs to the consumer. So it was significantly cheaper to buy a clone based on a V20 or an 8088 CPU. In comparison, your entry-level 286s were at least double the price, so it made sense for office, schools and home users. It would be interesting to see what lower latency RAM and a faster clocked V20 can achieve, but we will visit that in another episode. Thank you for watching.